Hey everyone, my name is Daniel Bradley. I am the creator and author of Song of Kardu, a new space western. Maybe you've heard about, maybe you haven't. Can't say it's super famous yet. Anyways, I just wanted to address a question. If you found me because you read my book or you're interested in my book, and that is, when is the audiobook coming out? And I don't have any announcements right now. And really, it's not very high on my list, and I'll kind of explain why. Um, I love audiobooks, first of all. I listen to them all the time. And there are some longer books and authors that I would much rather listen to 50 hours of the story than pick up the full fat book and try to commit a million afternoons to it. You know, it's just how it is. I listen to Stephen King's The Stand while hiking. Every week I'd go up to Big Springs near Provo, Utah, and listen to like 3 or 4 hours of it, and that's how I consumed the whole thing while hiking, which is actually kind of a scary experience to listen to Stephen King while you're hiking alone in the woods. Anyways, you guys want to meet my dog? This is Arthur. He's like, when are you going to be done filming? Yeah, I just got off work. It's midnight. That's why it's dark. So yeah, audiobooks. Let's talk about audiobooks. I believe that consuming a work of art is a collaborative experience with the creator. And so, especially when it comes to anything that started with writing, you know, whether it was a screenplay or a book. And so, think of it as kind of a ladder, with that, where at the bottom you have like a novel, right? So as you read this novel, you're creating the setting. You as the reader are creating the setting, the characters, how they look, how they talk, the accents they use, everything. You're putting in your own experience, you know? Like, so for my book, when you imagine Seth, you're creating his character. I guide you as the author, but really that entire experience that you're having is completely yours. My work is done. And I don't, you know, as an author, I don't like, that's one of the reasons why I don't like over explaining things. I just like you to be the one to to build the story yourself. And I believe that there's a certain level of satisfaction, sprinklers, that comes with that. And so then we go up one level and we have audiobooks, right? And audiobooks take a little bit of that imagination power away from you, because now you're listening to someone's interpretation. You're hearing voices that they're doing, you know. And so those performances can be super enjoyable, you know. Like if you've listened to the Expanse series, I can't remember the narrator's name right now, I'll put it in the description, but he's super amazing, you know, Broadway actor. I loved listening to that series, and so much that I bought the books and then read them again. You know. And so that's really what we're thinking about. What I'm thinking about right now, you know, is how can I help people understand that reading is one of the more enriching experiences that you can have with my book, and I don't want to take that from people by coming out with an audiobook too soon. I'm not even thinking about money as much at this point, because I know that there's a lot of people that if I came out with an audiobook, a lot of people I know, a lot of people I don't know, who would be much more willing to pick it up that way. And I may be losing some audience right now by not coming out with that quicker. But yeah, it's a creative decision. I want people to create the story in their head and come up with their own interpretations. And, you know, the audiobook will come out later. But that's why I'm making that decision. And the ladder goes up. So you have audiobooks, and then you go up from there, and you've got let's say that you get up to TV show and movies, and that's where people are creating the props for you. There's actors showing their interpretation of a character. There's the director's vision, how things are framed, everything. And that's just a lot of imagination power that you're not having to use in that experience. It becomes much more passive. And I won't say it rots your brain, but you're not using as much of it. You're not experiencing the story the same way. I think that's why people always say the movie's better than the book. Wow, the book's better than the movie, because they created it with the author. And that's just a beautiful thing. And I think that it's something that oftentimes we forget, because we live right now in a world, in our own setting, of instant gratification. Like, I bet a lot of people haven't made it 5 minutes into this video of me rambling about this stuff because it wasn't a minute long. And that's fine, but you know, if you want to stick with me on this stuff, that's how it looks. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks.